If you look at my website page I have for listing all my tech tools, you can see that it kind of gets crowded a little bit. You do have to do a little bit of work to find it, which also means I have to do a little bit of work to add to it, and that if I want anybody else to share what tech tools they're using, it makes it actually a little bit more difficult to do that. So a static web page is not going to work because I'm starting to add too many tools, so I need another way around this. And the answer is using Awesometables. Now, Awesometables is a tool I've seen about for a while, and I was looking for a chance to use it. But pretty much what I'm able to do is I'm able to take a spreadsheet of tools, embed it onto my Google site, and then using the different categories, I can actually sort it some different ways. So, for example, I have 145 total entries into this, and I can actually sort to just only the Chrome extensions I'm talking about, and you'll see all 11 of those. You can even click the link to get to them, and I can remove that. I can go by specific subjects, and I haven't really added the math tools yet, but you can see that I can find just the one specifically for math. Or I can find all the stuff dealing with back channels. And so I have different ways I can even search in the description for certain words, like say, if I'm looking for anything with the word formative, and you can see I find two very easily, very quickly. So the way to do this is actually very simple. The only difficult part is right here. You can see the URL. To make it clickable, you actually have to do a little bit of work. So the way I did this is I just created a form. And so on this form is an easy way that I or somebody else can insert the information. So I have the name of the tool, if it's a site, app, or extension, the link, what category does it fit into, is it a subject specific, and then a spot for a description for a little more information. So it's spitting it all out to here. Now you can see that something looks a little bit different. First off, I broke the unspoken rule of never messing with the responses page for a Google form. And the way why I did this is that I needed to include a row here to tell the different columns what type of search they are. And if you need more information about this, there is the Awesometables site. Oops, here we go. Which has a nice little walkthrough for you so you can easily see how to do this. So this is a little bit more steps. But in the case of category, where there are already choices there, so this is in my checkboxes, I'm using a CSV filter. In the name and in the description, I'm using a string filter, which just means that it will search for certain words or phrases in those columns. And you can see that the URL originally comes in right here. So this is actually where the information from the Google form comes in. But if I just embed this using the Awesometables, this does not become a clickable link. So what you actually have to do is you have to put that link into this format. And the way you do this is actually not too difficult. At the top here, I broke down the three parts of this into different columns. I have the link in here, and so pretty much that link goes in between these two parts and these two parts. So the way I did it is I used an array formula, which all the array formula is going to do is carry this out through all the columns when information comes in. So it's so that I don't have to come back and keep hitting enter on it. It will just do it automatically. This little part of the equation is just to stop it if there's no information in my first column. It'll stop going all the way down, stop adding rows. And then this little part here, which is kind of the difficult part, and I may have to put a new tutorial just talking about this, but this is adding up the text here with that link and make it so that it does it automatically each time. So if I were to go to my form right now and add in some information, it would automatically add it to the spreadsheet. This column would fill in then with the information from the other columns, and then it outputs to my site, so I get this here. So I'll run through how I did this. So I did the form first. The form spits out to here. You need to add another another row, and then you're going to add the type of filters. Once you have that set up, you go to your Google site. On your Google site, you click Edit, and you see this is a Google gadget. If I want to, I would just go up to Insert, More Gadgets, and this is actually should be one of the featured ones. And if we just scroll down a little bit, there it is, Awesometables. And now when you're in Awesometables, you're going to have to put the link to your Google Sheet. You have to say what sheet the information's on, and then you have to say which columns of information are you pulling from. You can see that I'm not pulling from all the columns in here. You can also change some other features, the width and the height being that, making sure that you hit save every time you make a change when you set it up before you hit OK. And then when you hit save, your awesome table will be there. So these were the CSV filters, and then these three sections are the string filters. There are other options that you can find. Again, you can go to the Awesometables link to get to the directions that tell you how to do this step by step. If you want to do the clickable link, like I said, it's a little bit of work, and this is why I messed with the form page. You need to take, you'll see, let me go up here, that the link can fit into these three parts. And what I tried originally was a concatenate formula, but that didn't really work too well. So instead, all I did was use the array formula, so it continues through. You really don't even need this part here. This is just because I had some extra cells that are showing up. But this is the part you need. And so what you want to do, is that you need to pretty much, I just select this column, then I did the and symbol, then I selected the next. So I did this column and the URL column, this one again, and the URL, this one again, and then enter. And you can carry these out through every page, or you could just add the dollar signs before and after the letter. So this becomes $I, $2. This becomes $J, $2, $K, $2. And make that so that it always will be drawing from those cells when you carries it out. That's pretty much it. Awesometables allows an easy description, make it a lot easier to find all I need. I can click on the links even too. Again, that's an extra step. Might take a little bit of time, but I will post another resource showing you how to do it specifically.